My name's Ian Morton. I've been involved in property for over 40 years now, and I absolutely love it. When I first started out, I was an interior designer, and that's my basic job really. I ended up moving into design and build, then I got into property development, and I've always been interested in history, so I got involved in heritage buildings, listed buildings in particular. Stood in one at the moment, or sat in one at the moment actually. We're doing something at the moment called Marske, which is a fantastic Georgian building up in the Yorkshire Dales. Right at the top of the Yorkshire Dales, in a beautiful area, Swaledale. And this particular building was built in 1749. It's got amazing history. So there's a stable block, there's a main hall, there's a sawmill, there's a house that used to be where the dogs were kept, the hound house. So we're doing elements of that. We're on site at the moment with a stable block. That's going to be 11 apartments, luxury. So what we're trying to do is something that's into the COVID era. So we're obviously, when we're on site, COVID actually happened and we managed to get through all that with the difficulty that had. But came out the other side of it and started reinventing and rethinking about how to replan the whole thing based on what had happened with COVID. So we restructured it, we've replanned it, and now we've got something I think that will fit in both in the times we're in with COVID, but when we come back out of it again into the new world, something that works in that world. So, and also based in history. So the stable block, which is the first place we're doing, has got an amazing history that goes back to equestrian times. So back in early 1700s, don't know whether you might know, but there's a Yorkshireman brought over the first ever Arabian horses to the UK, and one of the first Arabian horses was called Marske, that stayed in the stable block, obviously named after the place. That had a son called Eclipse. So Eclipse is still in the top most famous racehorses of all time, most successful racehorses of all time, right from 1750 still to this moment, and is in the bloodline of all the famous racehorses you've ever heard of: Red Rum, Shergar, Copenhagen, that was the horse that was with Wellington at the Battle of Waterloo. So amazing history, and we're building all that history into the stable block. And then the next phase of it is the hall, which we're just waiting for planning for, and that will be all about the history of that hall. And that goes back to Elizabethan times. The people that owned it have lived there. They were called the Huttons for 380 years. They've got a history. They were the Archbishops of York and Canterbury in both in Elizabethan times and Georgian times. They have amazing stories and all sorts of things that I could tell you, but we haven't got time to go into all that. But it's a really exciting project. All sorts of different things that we're working on. It's a very complicated project, but I'd love you to come and sort of see it sometime if you get a chance, and we'll be showing you some of the things on social media hopefully.